here this evening. Apologize for not being here on the last. Kind of came up quick, something I wasn't expecting to do at that time. We certainly have a quorum. And according to the agenda, right now, we'd like to recognize Juan. You know, he's been here longer than you, right, Roy?
Yes, my first meeting was April 25th, 1995, and he was already on the commission when I came on.
So, got a lot of knowledge that we'll lose, and but he gave us a lot of things to think about too every time on all our things. But if Linda and Lauren come forward. I hate to be giving this to you, but something else. It says Juan Whittington, in recognition of sincere appreciation for your loyal and dedicated service to the citizens of Amelia County as a member of the Amelia County Planning Commission. Your insight, knowledge of Amelia County, its history, and its residents, combined with your thoughtful leadership and sound judgment, help guide the responsible growth and development of our community. Your commitment to public service and your contributions to the county have left a lastingly meaningful impact. And I'm rest of that for sure. January 24, 2000 to May 21, 2026. Like you say, you had a lot of knowledge for many years on here. Certainly appreciate you sharing in with us, mother, husband, and Dave.
Thank
you. You're welcome. This was, if you want this was inside.
you need to.
Yeah, Juan, when he came back on for the last term, he said he just wanted to stay until he got the comprehensive plan done. I think he probably did more comprehensive plans than the county's had. But I know that I think this was at least his fourth. So that's a long time, and you know he certainly stressed agriculture and he stressed rural character, and we'll have to try to keep that in mind. You know, we have a lot of people moving in, and I don't know how much rural character they have, but we'll see what we can do. We'll move on to the minutes, regular meeting on March 23rd, and then the special on June 24th. What's your pleasure on one or both?
I'll make a motion to approve them both.
Second. Motion been made and second. Any people against it? All in favor of the motion for acceptance, make a note by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. No old business that I know of. I will say on old business, I certainly appreciate y'all handling the special meeting that came up. Moving on to new business. We have a public hearing, but we'll speak about Assembly Hall for Watkins Amelia LLC on the Winterham property.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the commission. This is a special exception permit, as you said, to operate an assembly hall on Grub Hill Church Road, tax map parcel 21-10. This property is zoned RR3 rural residential. The applicant is the potential purchaser of the property, intends to develop the property into an event venue with overnight accommodations. As I said, the assembly hall use requires a special exception permit in the RR3 rural residential district. Overnight accommodations would be allowed as a short-term rental, which is a permitted use by right already in the RR3 district. The applicant intends to update the landscaping on the property and add a tent for the event venue. This property was previously used as an event venue, but since it has been more than 2 years since the venue was operated, the new special exception permit is required to operate the venue again. In your packet, you have the applicable zoning provisions for the RR3 district, the relevant comprehensive plan sections, some criteria for special exception permit decisions. And then for the recommendation from staff, there's a list of conditions that the planning commission may want to consider in a recommendation for approval of the permit. These conditions are similar to previous conditions from previous assembly hall use. So those conditions are: number one, that the proposed use shall be developed and operated in general conformity with the layout and statements contained in the application. Number two, that events conducted on the property shall be limited to a maximum of 300 guests, and that number was in consultation with the applicant. Number three, events shall be prohibited between the hours of 10 p.m. to 8 a.m. Sunday through Thursday, and between the hours of 11 p.m. to 8 p.m. Friday and Saturday.
I think that's a typo.
Hey,
Yep, that should be an AM there.
Yeah.
Fix that on the,
Doesn't leave you a whole lot of time.
nope, we'll fix that on the board report. And then prior to commencement of the assembly hall use, the permit holder or landowner shall apply for and receive a zoning permit as well as a building permit and or change of use occupancy classification if necessary. Application and issuance of a zoning permit shall be subject to the following. A, submission of a parking plan ensuring no vehicles will be parked in the right of way of Grub Hill Church Road, and that there is safe egress, ingress for vehicles accessing the property and circulating the property. B, that VDOT has reviewed and approved all ingress, egress points proposed to be used in association with the assembly hall use. And C, that the Department of Health has reviewed the proposed use and identified any operational and licensing requirements. And again, those are similar to conditions that were previously approved for assembly hall use. And then on the last page, you have the draft planning commission actions, depending on what you want to do for a recommendation. And also in your packet is a layout submitted by the applicant showing where the parking area would be, where the tent area would be on the property, and an aerial map of the property as well. And I can attempt to answer any questions you may have.
You remember having any questions? Austin?
I know it's trivial, but we don't have to do anything with that AM, PM, right? We can ignore that.
Just say it as part of your recommendation with the correction, and I'll get it corrected for the
Okay.
staff report for the board.
Anybody have any other comments? Questions, Austin? Not all. Public hearing. Anybody like to speak for or against special exemption permit? Or Winterham? Anybody like to speak for or against? You have anybody online? Okay. Anybody like to speak for or against? Hearing none, seeing none. I'll close. Go ahead, Ms. Hatfield.
Comments to the committee or to the audience?
To the audience. It's a public hearing to the audience. Then I'll come back to us. Did you have any comments, ma'am?
To hear him, he was addressing you. And the microphone was not working properly. You might understand that there is only that the limitation for 200 guests,
300.
300 guests.
Yes, ma'am. That was one of the recommendations. Other than that, I think everything was that's what was requested in the application.
What, do you guys remember what we've had in the past there? I've been to a wedding there once before, but remember about what the size of the stuff was we had?
I've never seen that many people there myself, but
Yeah,
I normally attend on one, I guess on the south side.
there may have been 50 or 60 at the one that I was at, but I don't know if anybody's. Since this was,
Your parking space.
Yeah.
And some of our weddings have been 300 or more. So by the time you get 300 guests, then you have the caterers and then you have all of the support personnel. And so you've got more than 300 people there, so.
That was just a request. You have any other comments, Ms. Hatfield? You have any other comments?
Support proposition. We're delighted that Robert will continue the legacy that we have brought to the county. We labored long and hard. We bought the property from Senator Watkins in 1999. It took us 3 years to renovate. And we opened for business in 2003. And I think it's been a great asset to the county. We've had important visitors from abroad and from the government and from across the United States. And it's been our pleasure to show our hospitality to all of our visitors. We're delighted that he plans to continue with the operation.
It's a beautiful home, not to let go down, for sure.
It's on the National Register of Historic Places, as is our residence, Dykeland. Essentially, they're sister plantations. The Harvey family would have seen Winterham being built and liked the look of it, and so they added a new wing to Dykeland, and so it's very, it mimics Winterham.
Didn't realize that. Thank you for all your comments. I think I've already closed the public hearing, but anybody else has something to speak or close it officially? Public hearing is closed. Turn back to the planning commission members. Any questions, comments on any of the experts that they want to add restrictions?
So basically, the only thing that's changing is the people that's gonna be running it.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Everything is pretty much identical to what was original over 2 years ago.
Yeah, I like this kind of thing, because I mean, when in the weddings you have there, the scenery they got in the background, it really accents the type of little atmosphere we have in Amelia, Rolling Hills and all that, so I always liked, events and venues that have that kind of backdrop to it, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely support this.
I make a motion to approve it.
Second.
Motion been made and second for approval. Any more discussion? Heard the motion for acceptance.
Oh, with the change of the.
AM time. With that change, all in favor of the motion for acceptance passed on to the board of supervisors, make it known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carried 100% also.
Mr. Chairman, I'll abstain.
Huh?
I'll abstain,
Okay,
because I'll see it again.
all right. David abstained. All right. It'll come before the board of supervisors, the third Wednesday of fourth Wednesday of next month. You'll get a letter about that. And they'll have the final approval or disapproval.
But they moved.
They have the final say. But appreciate all the time you had at Ms. Hatfield to help the county out. Hopefully we're looking for Mr. Watkins to do the same. And but we appreciate that and keeping the rural character as much as possible in our county. Thank you. Next order of business, chairman comments, and I don't really have a whole lot other than I guess you have heard by now that Austin will be leaving us Friday. Moving to greener pastures. I'm sure he's hoping. Appreciate certainly the time you've been with us. You helped us finish the comprehensive plan. I think it took through, I know 3 if not 4 county employees to get it done in about a year or 16 months. So appreciate that and wish you best of luck. You have any friends interested, send them this way. Just make sure that they're as good as you are or better. That's the only comments I have, right off. I will say the digester is pretty much in full swing. The only hold up right now they've been having is the, point that they're actually in putting the gas back in. This will be one around Chase City. They're building, supposed to have been finished by July 15th, and I think they're still working on it. It's kind of like the digester itself. So, but right now, I think they're actually taking the gas to South Carolina, put it in the line. And right now, last we heard, they were taking out about 3 loads a day, which is a load more than they expected. And they think they can actually get 4 loads a day out of it. So, it's a lot of, waste going in mixed with the manure. So that's that much less going in landfills, but really where the barn sits as compared to the digester, you don't know a whole lot's going on. You don't even hear a truck, see a truck go in or out. And so far we've had everything, and you'll notice that off of 609 at the turn, VDOT would not give permission to asphalt it, the whole corner. So it's our responsibility to keep all the potholes out of the gravel area. So if you're wondering why it's not asphalted, well, it's not our fault. Originally we were gotten permission, and then they backed off of it. They said it was a liability for them. So, but we did that so the trucks could actually make a turn, get in, get out without messing up 609. So
When you say we, is that you or the company?
us, we have to maintain it, but they pay us to help maintain it.
Okay.
No, they didn't want the responsibility of having somebody, so it's our responsibility. And we just send them a bill for what we put out there. So.
Okay,
Yeah, that's the
On
only
a
thing.
level road, you can work on it.
Put this way, they pay pretty good. And but I will say it's amazing, the gravel is 12 inches deep. Fabric underneath it. I forgot how many tons is in there. And when they got over to the edge of the road, they said the road was 4 inches thick, no gravel left.
Oh.
So assuming that 12 inches gravel should last longer than the road. But especially needed that on the turns.
Yeah.
So that's how it is now, but no, it's of course, between what they will pay for without hardly any questions, and what, I know what people leave when they finish building, but I have never seen so much stuff that was given to us. We have no idea what to do with it, on bolts and just everything that they were going to throw in the landfill. So, but it's amazing that, if anybody wants large stainless steel bolts with nuts, or just large bolts, just let us know. It's a pile of them, a pile of stainless steel fittings. But
you were all looking like Sanford Son around there.
well, I don't know. We got a couple containers. They tried to sell them and nobody wanted them, so we bought them at a real reasonable price, and we moved to them last week. Somebody wanted them, but we had to empty them. Inside the 2 that people wanted, it looked like an office. I mean, they built shelves, desk, lights, and all. Of course, those were the last 2 that were moved up the hill off the site before they started. So, but if you know anybody wants a container, we have a few that are soft top, and they aren't light. I would tell you that. That's the only comments I have. Does anyone else have any comments? If any of y'all do know of somebody that'd like to serve on the planning commission taking Juan's place, certainly let Dexter know. Yes, they do have to come from Dexter's territory. But, and of course, he'll make a recommendation to the board of supervisors, and it's up to them to decide who the next member will be. But I certainly appreciate all y'all attending, and certainly we didn't have a quorum every time. Do you know we had anything coming up next month, Austin, as of now?
I don't know any.
And who will be our person to talk to?
It'll be Jerry Wayne with the county and Berkeley Group will be
Bergen. All right, so we'll have the same people as last time.
a different person.
Different, well, I show them to a different person. But the same company.
Yeah.
Does anyone else has anything else to say? Appreciate you coming out. Appreciate all the audience. Do you have any questions? Feel free to ask. Well, I answer them, I can tell you. I'll certainly try. I'll find an answer for you. Thank you. Have a good evening.
Right.